Last week a fan film launched and it caused a lot of controversy online. So naturally, I'm going to talk about it and show you some clips. I'm Dustin BURCHAM and tonight's show starts now! Last week a gritty R-rated fan film, I guess, launched for Mighty Morphin Power Rangers starring James Van Der Beek. Do you know James Van Der Beek? Was he, was it Dawson's Creek?
That sounds right. I don't know. I don't watch that show.
I don't remember. Anyway, he's famous. I'm sure you guys know and will let me know.
Oh, it is Dawson's Creek.
Was Dawson's Creek?
Yeah.
So, James Van Der James Van Der Beek. I don't know. He was in a Power Rangers fan film, so. That's not hating. I love Power Rangers. I watch the shit. I love it. My wife gets all over my ass because I still watch Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
It's not the point that you still watch Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. It's the fact that I don't want to.
Here, I want to show you guys something. This is one of my most prized possessions. And it's an autograph from Jason David Frank, the original Green Ranger, my favorite Power Ranger. And my friend Reese got this for me at Comic-Con. Thank you, buddy. You guys know Reese, I'm sure, by now if you watch the night show. And see, it even says, "To Dustin," which is one of my pet peeves of autographs. If I get an autograph for me, I want it addressed to me. So anyway, the fan film launched, and it opens up with James Van Der Beek, who's a treacherous former Red Ranger. And he is interrogating the, I assume, former Pink Ranger. During this interrogation, we see many events that lead up to the gory, bloody, brutal death of every single one of the Power Rangers, except for the Green Ranger, who has become a ghost. And I will say I did not care for the casting of Tommy. I'm sorry, but you can't replace Jason David Frank with this guy.
Wait, he became a ghost?
He became a ghost in the sense that he's sort of a nomad. No, he's a nomad. Nobody knows where he is, and in fact, that's why the Red Ranger is interrogating the Pink Ranger.
Oh, he's trying to find out where he is.
Trying to find Tommy.
Okay.
Now, here's some pros and cons. I did like the updated look of the Rangers, and what few glimpses we actually got to see. Of course, especially the Green Ranger. I really thought his digital shield was freaking awesome. But I'm a Green Ranger mark, so I'm biased, I guess, to the Green Ranger. But the movie itself, I'll tell you what, before I give you my comments, Jason David Frank actually made a video himself commenting on the movie, and here's a clip from that.
Man, guys, look, I know there's a lot of fans out there that love it and all that stuff, but I'm just a PG-13 guy. Like, the cuss words, the drugs, all this other stuff, it doesn't fly with me. You know, it's great. The adults love it. Like, hey, man, that's our show when we were a kid, and we deserve something like that. But then you got to fall back to the kids. You still have the kids that want to watch Power Rangers, and there's no way I can watch that movie with Jenna sitting right next to me. And
I agree with a lot of Jason's points here that Power Rangers is supposed to be kid-friendly, that, you know, we can make something that's PG-13, but we can't make something like this because of the fact that there are still kids watching the show on the Disney Channel and that kind of thing. And I agree with that, because that was one of the things I did not like about the movie is, you know, like the drug dealing and shit like that, where they were doing blow and that kind of shit. It's really far-fetched. It's a far cry from, it's too far gone from the original for me to enjoy. Now, if they did it sort of the style of Batman and the Dark Knight, Batman Begins series, I could get behind that. But the way that this film went about it, I personally, I didn't enjoy it. I'm sorry. I wanted to like it when I saw it, and I saw it was getting a lot of popularity. The original one had been taken down by the time I got a chance to see it, so I had to find a copy of it and watch that, and I didn't care for it. I wanted to like it. I was hoping that it would be great, but I'm sorry, I just didn't like it. And that's just my personal preference. I'm not going to sit here and shit all over it, because I'm sure a lot of fans, in fact, I know a lot of fans out there really did like it. And, you know, that's good. I'm glad you guys got something you enjoy. It just wasn't for me. That's all I'm really going to say about that. But, I do want to point out that there are some other Power Rangers fan films out there that you should check out, because there's a couple that I'm following really closely. The first one I want to tell you about is called Teenagers with Attitude. And I'll tell you what, let's show you a little clip from Teenagers with Attitude.
Whoa, did you guys just feel that?
All students and staff still remaining on campus, please stay indoors. We are currently on lockdown.
Like I said, I'm getting out of
Look,
here.
fine. We should all at least stick together.
Now, the reason I chose to show you Teenagers with Attitude first is because it's actually finished and online, so you can see the whole thing. And it's a very good retelling of the events that happened prior to Day of the Dumpster, the first Power Rangers episode, for those of you who may or may not know what I'm talking about. The next one is yet another prequel fan film. Now, this one I'm stoked about. Like, this one's probably my favorite. I am so excited. I can't wait. It's called Zordon of Eltar. Take a look.
Citizens of the Order, I am sure you are well aware of the reports regarding the Machine Empire and their recent encroachment on the borders of our grand and noble republic, following the tragic assassination of their sovereign king and queen. The former Machine Prince has now taken the throne, and in response to this heinous act of war, King Mondo has not declared war on the Order of the Meridian, but the single soul responsible for the attack on their royal house. Intelligence has led us to believe that this individual is hiding somewhere within Meridian space. She's to be considered an enemy of the Republic.
Meridian can ill afford a full-scale war with the Machine Empire.
You guys have been great, really. I just need to spend some time.
Zordon, it leads to a planet called Earth.
All you can do is watch and see what it feels like to lose something precious to you.
So as you can see, for a fan film, Zordon of Eltar has some really amazing special effects, and it's looking like it's going to have a damn good storyline, and I'm really excited about that. The third fan film is one that, honestly, I've just grown tired of waiting on. I've been following it for several years now, and I'm not 100% sure it's going to come out, but the trailer does look pretty cool, and it's just called MMPR. Take a look.
Are the morphers ready, or aren't they?
They are, General.
Then we start tonight.
You will never beat Lord Zed.
Who's gonna be strong enough to beat him then?
You still hit like a girl.
And you can find the links to all of these videos in the description. I'll try to find a link to the Power Rangers reboot that just launched, or reboot, I should say, fan film that just launched last week with James Van Der Beek, the one that's causing all the controversy. I'll try to find a link to that and put in the description as well. But definitely check out Zordon of Eltar and MMPR. I recommend subscribing to their channels if you're fans, because I just can't wait, especially for Zordon of Eltar. That's going to be shit.
When does that come out?
That comes out this year. It's not got a set date because it's a fan film, but it's supposed to come out this year. MMPR, who knows if we'll ever see MMPR come out, but at least the trailer, we got a cool trailer out of it at least, if nothing else. So, I did want to address something with these fan films and these Power Rangers movies and reboots. You know, they've done a great job, but there are still some villains that aren't in these movies that should be. And in fact, I've got a list here of 5 of them. So right now we're going to take a look at that list. And tonight's Night Show Top 5, which will be titled The Night Show Top 5 Villains That Should Be Featured or Adapted Whatever into a Mighty Morphin Power Rangers PG-13 Dark Knight style gritty ass movie. Number 5, Pudgy Pig. That's from the food fight episode where he eats all the food and he's going to deplete all of the world's food supply unless he's stopped. Pudgy Pig was a very good joke as a child. I thought it was hilarious. And but this does have potential to be rebranded and recreated in a PG-13 style. So let's give it a shot. Maybe not a movie, but like if, hey guys, making the fan films out there, why not make a gritty remake with Pudgy Pig? He could be a cannibal. He eats people. There you go. I just did the legwork for you. Make it happen, folks. Number 4, the Ravenator. I ain't gonna lie, I don't remember this villain. I just thought he looked really cool. You know what? I'd even watch a spinoff about this guy. Number 3, Bones from Episode 2, High Five. Now, as you see, Bones was defeated. I think it was Trini or Billy that defeat Bones inside the time warp. By they catch his head and they throw it in the pit, and that's how they beat him. Because every time they blow him up, he just reassembles himself. But I'll tell you, the creepiest part is the scene where he's on the he's at the carnival and he's riding the Ferris wheel and he's going like, he's got this real high pitch. That motherfucker gave me nightmares for years, and I don't believe you would have to do much to reboot this guy. Now that's a villain that I can get behind for a movie. They can't destroy him. He keeps repiecing himself together. What are we going to do? I don't know. We got 90 minutes to figure it out. That is a reboot film villain. Bones, perfect, right there. Number 2, one that I've seen, I believe everybody has forgotten about because I haven't seen him in any of the fan films. I never hear anybody talk about it, is Goldar. Now, before Goldar was Bulk and Skull's slave in latter seasons, and before he became the sort of a joke of a bad guy he used to be a badass in the first couple of seasons. Let's not forget that he kicked the Rangers' ass on more than one occasion, especially Jason in the Dark Dimension, when he went on one-on-one with Goldar, but he didn't have any superpowers, and Goldar whooped his ass. My point is, Goldar doesn't get the respect he deserves, and I would love to see a film version of Goldar better than that shitty one from the Power Rangers, the movie with Ivan Ooze, and yeah, that one, he looked like shit. And the number 1 Power Rangers villain that I would love to see adapted into a movie villain is, of course, the Green Ranger. The reason that this is on here is because I think a lot of people forget that the Green Ranger started out as a villain. He was recruited by Rita, brainwashed, he was put under a spell, whatever you want to call it, and he became Rita's evil Green Ranger. Not only did he fuck up the Megazord, he fucked up Zordon, he fucked up Alpha, he fucked up the Command Center, he fucked up the Rangers. His first order of business, he beats the shit out of them inside the Megazord. He's like, fuck that giant shit, and he went in there and whooped their ass. One guy. Now that is a movie-style villain. Now if you look at the original MMPR series and you take the 5 Green with Evil episodes, you could probably put them together and have your own sort of Green Ranger movie. And I think that's what he deserves. He deserves to be portrayed as a villain who's under an evil spell and given his due that way. And I believe that a Green Ranger as a villain in a movie, even if the movie ultimately ends up with him joining forces with the Rangers, I feel like that's the perfect way to go for a Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie. Yes, the Green Ranger, not the White Ranger, because fuck the White Ranger. What Power Rangers villains would you like to see portrayed in a gritty PG-13 movie style. Let me know in the comments section below, and well, you know what? This is one I'd really like to hear from you guys, and we'll take a look at these comments and maybe even do a future video where we try to redesign them in said fashion. That would be awesome. But thank you for liking and sharing this video. Don't forget to subscribe, because we'll be back tomorrow night with an all-new episode. Until then, I'm Dustin Burcham. Thank you for watching. Good night, everybody.